Oh, TGIF, everybody. Welcome to Afternoon Focus. I'm Julie Grant.
And I'm Alexa Liaco in for Rob Nelson. Thanks so much for joining us on this finally Friday.
Yes. We hope your afternoon is off to a good start, and we want to start the show with some of the stories we've got at the top of our feed. So here we go. We kick things off with a really sweet moment between a mother and a son that is sure to melt your heart.
Happy tears? You promise? You promise? Oh, baby. Love you so much.
Oh, that is too sweet. That is Summer Jean and 11-year-old Makai Sheffield. The young man was so overcome with happiness for his mom on her wedding day, he broke down crying. Summer's hairstylist caught the moment on camera and shared it on social media. Oh, I could watch that all day. That is just pure love, and thank God someone had a camera because they're going to treasure that moment forever.
I know, right? I cried the first time I saw it, and when you see the whole thing, there's more to it than just what we showed. But he walks in, and you can tell it's like his breath was taken away as soon as he sees his mom. And then when the two of them are so focused on each other, like what we just showed, it's almost like nobody else exists. It was just the two of them having that moment. And it's just an outsider looking in and like melting, watching it. You feel that moment. You feel that love between them. It's beyond precious.
No, and they have such a special relationship, so I just loved that. That made my day to watch it. And now we'll turn to a story more than a century in the making.
Yeah, we want to introduce you to Maria Moreira. She's a world record holder as the oldest living person at 115 years. Yes, you heard me correctly. And 329 days. Young, that is. The folks at Guinness World Records confirmed it. She was born in San Francisco on March 4th, 1907. Maria has 3 kids, 11 grandkids, and 13 great grandkids. Maria looks fantastic.
I was going to say, whatever skin cream she's using, I want to buy that. Please call me up, Maria, and let me know.
Girlfriend, we need your secrets. Do tell. I never would think, I wouldn't even think she's 90.
No, she looks
if somebody says, oh, maybe she's in her 70s or 80s, yeah, but like 115?
Well, and I did a little more reading about her, and she was actually born just a few years after the first plane ever took flight, and just a couple years before the Titanic set sail. So she's really seen world wars, now a global pandemic. I mean, amazing. Can you imagine to witness all of that?
Oh, yeah. She's on Twitter. I think we were doing the same thing independently. And her Twitter bio says something like, I'm old, but I'm not stupid. She's seen a lot. She's witnessed a lot of history, and she really should be interviewed about all the history she's seen. I would hope somebody would go to Spain and do that.
So cool to listen to.
We'll volunteer to take that assignment. Go.
Sign me up.
Maria. Oh, well, now we go from a woman who's had 115 of them to a woman who makes each birthday very special. The woman at the center of our next story gives so many smiles out, it's no wonder her laughter is pure gold.
Our friend Homa Bash is in Cleveland to introduce you to a woman who has been calling perfect strangers every day for 15 years with a very special message.
I'm not telling.
Before the interview even began, Miss Patricia Field made me promise not to ask her one specific question: her age.
You told me not to ask.
And I'm telling you again.
That was the one question you told me was off limits.
That's right. That's right. Nobody need to know.
To Miss Pat, age simply doesn't matter. Her quick wit and sense of humor keep her young at heart. And so do the quick friendships she makes with just about anyone she meets, in person or on the phone.
And what do you do?
I call the people for their birthdays and wish them a happy birthday. And if they want to talk, I talk.
You see, every day for more than 15 years, Miss Pat has been picking up the phone and calling people on their birthdays.
Just calling to wish you a very happy birthday.
A simple wish, a little conversation.
I feel blessed to be able to talk to them. Because there's a lot of people out here, I'm telling you, it's a lot of people out here that's hungry for friendship, hungry to talk to people, and they don't have it.
Miss Pat says her family is her everything, a doting son and daughter-in-law, loving grandkids. So for her, the calls are a way to give back in a way she can give back. In 1990, Miss Pat lost her vision due to an infection called uveitis, but she refused to let her blindness dull her spark.
I think I'm the same person I was before. I'm not as nasty as I was.
You calmed down a little bit?
I calmed down a little bit, you know, because I can't see the punch coming, you know.
The most contagious laugh and personality can brighten anyone's day, birthday or not.
This is Pat.
Miss Pat can't see, but she can feel what her calls mean to people.
Are people happy to talk?
Yep, they're very happy to. Oh, she said, oh, I'm so glad somebody remembered.
And here's how it works.
January 19th.
Another volunteer records a cassette tape with the names and phone numbers
40.
of all the birthday calls for each day
Good morning, Susan.
and gives them to Pat once a month.
And I understand today is your birthday?
Needless to say, she takes it from there and makes it all her own.
Ah, surprise, huh?
And if you're still wondering how old Miss Pat really is, well,
You can't catch me with that, sweetie.
so are we.
We love Miss Pat.
We do. She's a smart woman.
Yes.
I don't blame her for not telling her age. Heck no, she looks
Nobody
great.
needs to
Let
know.
everybody keep guessing.
She's got the sparkly sunglasses. We don't need to know. My big question was, how does she find these strangers? 'Cause
Right?
Miss Pat, I want to get on your birthday list. I would love a call. March 14th.
We'll make sure Miss Pat knows.
Thank you. Hook me up, Homa
Call
Bash.
Alexa, Miss Pat. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. They never really said where she
It's
gets
it's
these
one of her
numbers, how she
mysteries.
knows. Yeah, Miss Pat is mysterious. She's not revealing all of her secrets, that's for sure.
love it.
All right, well, it is time to get the popcorn ready. We want to bring you a few quick stories today that are just fun to know. And today we're going to do something a little bit different in honor of the big football games on Sunday. We're spotlighting the cool things about the cities that are rooting on their teams, of course, to make it to the Super Bowl. So we're going to start with the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio.
There will be a lot of Skyline chili dip getting made by Bengals fans this weekend. Cincinnatians eat more than 2 million pounds, yes, you heard that right, of chili each year at the 140 chili parlors and restaurants in the area. But this is not your grandma's chili. Cincinnati chili is its own special thing, as I just learned. Though the recipe is secret, it's thought to contain spices like cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. Now, Julie, you're from Ohio. What's your take on the Cincinnati chili?
I've never had it. So I have lived in many parts of Ohio. Southeastern, northeastern, never have seen that. That looks like spaghetti to me in
Yes.
that bowl. Did anybody else think that too? I mean, I'm Italian. We have a lot of good food in Steubenville, where I'm from, that homemade Italian stuff. I would love to try that.
Yes.
Our executive producer, Lorena
She
Ruiz.
is an expert.
Yes, and one of our associate producers, Joe Inderhees, they're both from Cincinnati. They love it. They rave about it. I told them maybe like we make it one day.
I'm
and bring it on the
available
show
to
and
try
eat
it with all the cheese on top. I am a cheese lover, so it could be good.
Yeah.
Sign us up.
Try anything once, right?
Exactly.
And I didn't even know Cincinnati's referred to as the Queen City. Did you? Because I
No,
know
I didn't
Charlotte, North
either.
Carolina is, and I lived close to Charlotte, so I was like, oh, okay. We got
Lots of fun things about
Queen City.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And the Bengals will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, so that's where we're going to go next.
That's right. And since we already know about the barbecue, we're going to talk about McDonald's, because it's fun to know that a Kansas City ad agency is responsible for creating the Happy Meal. It happened when the agency owner thought kids would be happier if they had their own meal. So instead of just sharing what their parents got. Love it. I don't know what I would have done without the Happy Meal
I
as a kid.
know,
How
that
about
was
you?
my joy. I always begged my mom, can we please get the Happy Meal? I want to see what toys in there.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, like, I mean, I have been an adult and ordered a Happy Meal, and I always just tell them, just save the toy.
Sometimes it's
don't
a
need it, and
perfect
it's like, you
snack.
don't want the toy, you don't want it for your kid. No, I don't have a kid, it's for me. And
It's me.
It's cool. Good without it. Give somebody two, who's pulling up behind us in the drive-through line. All right, now we head to the city of brotherly love. Did you know it is the mural capital of the world?
pretty cool.
There are over 4,000 pieces of community-based art in the city of Philadelphia. And of course, we can't talk about Philly without talking about cheesesteaks too.
Delicious. It's fun to know that cheese actually was not a part of the original Pat's cheesesteak. It was added later by a manager who tossed provolone on the grilled beef and onion sandwich. Well, thank God they did. Well, finally, we head west to one of the great cities in the world, San Francisco.
It's fun to know the 49ers get their name from the gold rush of 1849. Also, San Fran is the home to the nation's only moving National Historic Landmark. Can you guess? The world famous cable cars. Beautiful city that I've never seen. I'm dying to go. Have you?
Well, as a California native, been to San Francisco many times, have gone on the cable cars, so definitely a fun family memory. I went with my mom and godmother, and we ate all the sourdough bread that the world could find.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic,
yes,
Alexa.
it was good.
Are you rooting for any of these teams?
Well, I guess I'll go with the 49ers with the California tie, although I'm an LA girl, so we'll see what happens. Well, don't go away. There is more good news ahead. Coming up, a young woman is inspiring others with how she handles new physical limitations.
Just watch me, because I am going to overcome this one way or another.
It might be a little wiggle of a toe or a little wiggle of a finger, but to us, that's inspiration because she's not giving up.
Welcome back, friends. We are sliding into the weekend just like this polar bear at the Pittsburgh Zoo. She is loving that fresh powder, clearly more than many others in Pittsburgh. Many of my friends, they hate the snow, don't want to see it, but animals seem to love it.
That is cute. She's just soaking up the day, living her best life, as we all should on a Friday.
That's right. Look at that. It's kind of how my dog looks in the snow, you know, who is in Pittsburgh and just like can't get enough of it. It's
I know,
like
they just put their face in there and they're like, oh, it's cold and amazing.
It must feel good to them, I think. It must
to.
feel good like on their paws or something.
Doesn't to me, but glad they love it. Well, the young woman you're about to meet is a magic maker, one of the good people doing good things we love so much on this show.
Yeah, this is really sad. An accident left her paralyzed, but it certainly hasn't slowed her down. Austin Pollock is sharing her story from Lexington, Kentucky.
What looks like a simple task is actually quite the challenge.
I just do everything that I did before, just in a new way.
A new way, but still the old Kayla Lacey.
I had spent 31 days in ICU. Most of those days, I didn't think that I was going to make it.
At Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation Hospital in Lexington, Kayla is making it. Easy? Definitely not physically. Mentally? No isn't an option.
I told them basically just watch me, because I am going to overcome this one way or another.
It might be a little wiggle of a toe or a little wiggle of a finger, but to us, that's inspiration because she's not giving up.
Lonnie Morgan is Kayla's stepdad.
I treat her like my daughter, love her like my own daughter.
Memorial Day weekend, his connection with God became a relationship.
God, if you'll save her, I will talk to you every day for the rest of my life, and I talk to him every day ever since.
I dove into the shallow end of a pool and I shattered my C5 vertebrae, sending it straight into my spinal cord. And from that moment, I was paralyzed from my chest down.
Today, Kayla moves with the wheelchair, destined to still put one foot in front of the other.
I was very shocked.
In more ways than one.
Anything that you're struggling with, you can overcome that, no matter what the circumstances is.
Newly crowned as Miss Wheelchair Kentucky, Kayla used this opportunity to meet people, not focused on the win. Now with a new gift, worth giving.
Now I'm actually doing TikToks and showing others that even though my hands are not working, I can still do the things that I was doing before.
Not disabled, still able.
Everybody didn't think she had a chance at doing anything but laying in a bed. That's the furthest thing we've seen.
And if I can live through the pain daily, that I can do anything that I set my mind to do.
Her mind is set.
She may have a few physical limitations, but that's the same Kayla.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that gets you. Oh, my goodness.
So first thing that stands out to me, she's just so beautiful. She's just so beautiful. And when you think about such a terrifying thing that happened and then changed her life in that split second of a dive, a dive into a pool that changed everything about the way she lives. Her attitude to me is remarkable, because you could see how something like that would just break somebody's spirit. And they would say, you know what, I just want to give up. I don't want to try. Be angry, be bitter, feel like, look, my life's been taken away. I'm confined to a wheelchair. No, she's not just living. She's thriving in that wheelchair. She is a light. You could just see a light around her. I was moved just watching her. I could have listened to her all day.
Well, and the way her father talks about her, and to say that, you know, he's really so, you know, moved that she's even here. And so just the gratitude every single day to have another day with your child, with your family, I mean, that is beautiful, and it's something that we can all kind of internalize and say, you know, wow, we are lucky to have just one more day. It's true. Every day is a gift. That saying, it's so true, and I'm sure that family will tell you that, you know, realization, you know, became more and more apparent, you know, with every movement she was able to make after that tragedy. We wish her all the best going forward. We're going to squeeze in a quick break right now. When we come back, we'll take you to a church opening up their doors for migrants who are searching for a safe haven. That's next.
For more than 175 years,
it is a great thing to work together.
The congregation of Travis Park Church,
better things can come about,
served as a refuge for all who seek their help.
We've seen waves of crises, and we mitigate those and manage those as we need.
Gavin Rogers is associate pastor here and director of Corazon San Antonio. It's ministry that normally serves people experiencing homelessness.
Corazon Clinic's been going around for 25 years.
But in the past several years, they've taken on an additional mission.
We started serving migrants and asylum seekers that were coming through San Antonio that have been either released from detention or have been given temporary asylum.
In San Antonio, that's added up to helping a lot of migrants, hundreds of thousands since 2019. And at Travis Park Church,
since 2019, we've helped sleep over 33,000 people in the Sunday school classrooms and in different rooms here at the church, and helped even thousands of more during the day get to the right places. And we're this small little entity.
But they are a critical one. When the most recent surge at the border began, the city of San Antonio established a migrant resource center. That effort pulled together several area nonprofits, including Catholic Charities, the Food Bank, and Travis Park Church, among others.
The services that we offer here are a place to wait, Wi-Fi, food, showers, and transportation.
Alex Obregon helps migrants coming through the doors here.
There's a lot of emotions with it. Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, I think even being here and doing the work, sometimes it can be hard to process.
The result? A relatively smooth process in handling their migrant surge. And a far cry from how larger cities have dealt with it, like New York City, whose mayor, Eric Adams, recently traveled to visit the border in El Paso.
Our cities are being undermined, and we don't deserve this. Migrants don't deserve this. And the people who live in the cities don't deserve this.
I really encourage him to come and see how San Antonio's doing it, because I think it's a better model than just going to border towns, because cities of San Antonio experience this type of traffic and know how to treat those in need, especially our siblings that are experiencing asylum.
All happening in a city that's become a migration hub in America.
Welcome back. What you're looking at is a 1,000-pound elephant seal roaming an Australian coast.
Well, he's been named Henry, and he's quite the disruptor. Over the past week, his antics have included being spotted crashing 2 windows and crossing streets. Gotta love him. He looks like he's doing the worm.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Wow, Henry is huge. I just can't get over how big he is.
The blubber just kind of goes in the way. Okay, this reminds me of, I don't know if you remember Freya, the walrus in Norway. She was really friendly to people, and she would jump on top of boats in Norway. And so she ended up kind of disrupting people's business and things like that. But she was just a friendly lady, also a big one, and who
Those
wanted
two
to
could
just
get together. Yeah.
they'd have a great time acting like people.
I bet they eat
so
a lot.
Cute.
Have that in common.
Well, that's our show for today, and as always, we want to hear from you.
Yes, please keep on sending your ideas to us. Go to our Facebook page, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you at the same time and on the same couch.